Hi everyone, today I would like to give you a brief introduction of Taiwanese history. If you divide the Taiwanese history into written and non-written history, then the first settlers of the Taiwanese people are the Aborigines. They are part of the unwritten history. Currently, there are 16 official tribes in Taiwan, but if you count the unofficial ones, there are more than 20-ish, and they're more or less connected with the Polynesian in Southeast Asia. So some say they are the ancestor of the Polynesians. Okay, so if we talk about the written history, so here we have a map of Taiwan and mainland China. If we talk about written history, it all came to started with Portuguese. The Portuguese, they have Macau as a colony. They really want to trade with Japan in the north. So what they do is they departed from Macau and go all the way up to Japan. And on their way to Japan, they discovered this island, and one of the sailors can't help shouting out "Ilha Formosa," which means "beautiful island" in Portuguese. So that name actually was put on a world map put Taiwan on the world map. So Taiwan in the past was called Formosa for a very long time. But the Portuguese are not the only European power that is in Asia. You have the Dutch. The Dutch, they have today's Indonesia as a colony. They also want to trade with China and Japan. But all the way from Indonesia, that's really far away. So they need somewhere to refill their resources. So they took the south part of Taiwan as their colony for refuel all the way up from Indonesia and have a refuel in Taiwan and go to Japan. However, again, they are not the only European powers in the Asia-Pacific region. You also have the Spanish, who had the Philippines as their colonies. So they occupied the north part of Taiwan, but unfortunately, two countries in this very little island doesn't fit that well. So it's just a matter of time that the Dutch grow stronger and stronger, and they kick out the Spanish. So when Dutch were happily ruling Taiwan and enjoying their trade with China and Japan, what happens on the other side of the strait was a civil war. So you have the Ming Dynasty. This is the Ming Dynasty, and fighting with the Manchurian-based Qing Dynasty. So the Ming Dynasty was losing. They need to retreat. They need to find some way to retreat. They found this island that they can retreat. However, there's already Dutch people ruling there. So what they did is they kicked out the Dutch and occupied the Taiwan Island. And the mainland was occupied by the Qing Dynasty. The Ming Dynasty they lost the whole territory of China, obviously for a reason. So they must have done something not really correct. So it's just a matter of time that the Ming Dynasty was ended by the Qing Dynasty, and this time is 1683. This is the first time that the mainland China and Taiwan were under the same government. It was the Qing Dynasty as the common government of both sides. We fast forward to the 19th century, the end of 19th century. The ruling Qing Dynasty was in a bit of crisis because we have a big neighbor in Asia, that a growing East Asian power, which was Japan. Japan here, they had a war with the Qing Dynasty in 1895, and the Qing Dynasty lost the war. After a few rounds of negotiation, the Qing Dynasty decided that they would give Taiwan to Japan. So Taiwan, after 1895, was given to Japan as a colony for 50 years. So it had a really great influence on great influence on Taiwanese culture and society, so to say. So while Japan was ruling Taiwan, something else happened. In 1911, the Qing dynasty, the corrupted Qing dynasty, was overthrown by the revolutionaries, the First Republic. So there's no more emperors and kings. It's overthrown in 1911, so that's the end of the Qing dynasty empire. And so China, at that time, was ruled by the Republic of China, the newly founded Republic of China. So fast forward again to the Second World War. And the Second World War, China, the Republic of China, was fighting with the Axis power, Japan, Germany, and Italy. We all know what happened in the end of the Second World War. Japan lost the war. So according to the agreement that Japan have to give Taiwan back to China, but originally Taiwan was part of the Qing dynasty China, but now because the successor is Republic of China, so Taiwan was given back to the Republic of China. So for the second time, Taiwan and mainland are under the same government, Republic of China government. But still, there's something going on happening in China at that moment. So the Republic of China nationalist government was fighting with the communist government, and what we know afterwards that like the Ming dynasty, the nationalist government retreated, and they have nowhere to retreat. They have to. The only choice they have is to go to Taiwan. So it was just like the Ming dynasty that the government retreated to Taiwan. So it was, and ever since the 1949, this was the situation of the two Chinas, two different separated governments since that time, and it was like it's like a catch-22 is just stuck here and not going anywhere. So you have the nationalist government, Republic of China, and you have the communist government, People's Republic of China. So easy way to remember it is they're called the People's Republic of China just simply because they have more people. So I think that's an easy way of remembering it. So I would say this is the really brief history of Taiwanese history. In a nutshell, so to say.